Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm actually doing a bit of a freezer mass hookup day. So I don't usually do cooking on this channel, but I thought I'd try it because I do know that I have a bit of a mum following. So I am just going to show you what things I'm doing today. So today I wanted to try and do some ranch chicken, some pulled chicken, which I actually already have in the slow cooker over there, which I'll show you in a second. I'm going to do a lasagna, a shepherd's pie, some banana bread, chicken and corn soup, and one or two bacon and egg pies. I'm not sure if I'll get it all done today, but I thought I'd just see how I go. I've got all the ingredients. I've got trays, I've got Ziploc bags if I need it, but I just thought I'd take you through the process of what I'm going to try and do, just to give you some inspiration. I've actually been watching a few channels that do mass cooking, like they do millions of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for like lunches and like 20 freezer meals all in one day that last for months. I'm not doing that far, but I thought I'd just try and do a little bit and see if I can get ahead. Also, we'll be going camping at Christmas, so I thought maybe some meals that I can just heat up while we're camping on either the camp oven or just over some coals or something. So let's just get into it and I'll show you what I'm doing today. Okay guys, so here is my pulled chicken. Basically, so this morning when I got up, all I did was throw in, it was about 2 kilos of chicken breast. I've just thrown it in the slow cooker and I've just dumped in this bottle of barbecue sauce. So it's a 420 ml bottle of barbecue sauce, and just dumped it in, stirred it around, and then I've just set it on low for 8 hours. I'll show you what it looks like so far. It smells delicious. That's it there, just bubbling away slowly. So what's going to happen is that'll go for 8 hours. It's already been on for 4 so far. But yeah, so that'll go for 8 hours, and then once it's finished, I just get in and kind of shred it apart. I'll probably take it out of the sauce to shred it and then add some of the sauce, maybe not all of it. But yeah, so that is my pulled chicken. So I might come back later and show you the rest of it. But that's what's happening so far. That's already been on for 4 hours, so smells awesome. Okay, let's have a look and see what else we've got next. Okay guys, so what I'm gonna do next is my lasagna. So what I've got here, I've got my shortcut bacon. I've got like about, I don't know, like 6 slices of shortcut bacon. You don't have to use bacon, I just think it fills it out a little bit. I've got 500 grams of minced beef. I've got 2 onions, only because they're kind of small, so I thought I'll grab 2 of those. I've got 1 carrot just to put in a little bit of vegetables so the boys don't know about it. I've got some instant lasagna sheets, so just the hard sheets. I've just got a pasta sauce, so this one's got bacon, tomato, herbs, but anything really. I've got a lasagna bechamel, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into a tray. So basically I'll cook it all up as I usually would, and then I will put it in the freezer, so let it cool down and then put it in the freezer. I've also got cheese. I haven't got cheese here, but I've also got some grated mozzarella cheese that I'll put on top of that. So I'll just show you me putting it together. Okay guys, so I've just got my pan on the heat. I want to just put in a little bit of olive oil. So I've just got, this is the brand that I'm using. Just kind of coat the bottom a little bit. And then I'm going to add in my chopped up bacon and my chopped up onion and just throw them in together. And I just want to not brown them, but just cook them out a little bit. So just until the onion is no longer raw. So I'll do that and then we'll go on to the next step. Okay guys, so my next step is I'm going to add in my grated carrot. So I'm just putting this in. I don't usually put in carrot in my lasagna, but I thought I'd put it in just to try and get some more veggies into my boys' diet. So in with the carrot. And just give that a mix around. And now that the onion and the bacon have cooked down a little bit, and the onion's kind of softened, I'm going to put in my meat. So that's the 500 grams of meat. And I'm just going to break that up and cook that until it's nice and brown. So I'll do that and then I'll come back. Okay, so now that the meat is nice and brown and all the veggies have softened, I'm just going to add in my pasta sauce. I'm just going to dump that all in there. I've just added like, I don't know, a quarter of a cup of water into the jar. I'm just going to give it a shake just to get all of the sauce. And also it'll help with making the sauce a little bit thinner. So it's nice, it'll all get sucked up by the pasta sheets anyway, so just put that little bit extra and then just mix that around, and that is pretty much done. I'll let it go for another, say, a couple of minutes just to all incorporate and cook the pasta sauce a little bit. But that is pretty much it. Just want to mix it all together. And that's the pasta sauce done. The next step will be assembling it all. So let's go to the assembly. Okay guys, so I've got my tray. I think it was just it's just from Coles. It's just a barbecue tray. I think it was the large size. But yeah, that's the size. I wasn't sure which size, but I'm going to try for this one. I've got my meat here. So first things first is I'm just going to put a layer of meat, just a couple of spoons just on the bottom. Just like that, and just give it a spread around a little bit. That. And the next thing is now the lasagna sheets. So that's the ones I'm doing. I'm just going to put them in here. I might just snap off the edge. Stick them in there. And you can just use these ones for the middle. Like that, and then it is a layer of the bechamel, so that's the lasagna cheese sauce. I'm going to put a layer of that just over the top. I'm just going to grab a spoon and just smooth that out. Just make sure it gets over all of the pasta so that it helps it to soften. Like that. Now it's another layer of meat. Another layer of pasta. And then another layer of the bechamel. last layer of the meat sauce. I usually just pour it all over, so I'm just gonna, sorry if you can't see, but yeah, I'm just pouring the whole lot over. So yeah, just pour all that sauce in there and I'll just spread it out. Hopefully I've got enough room in this tray. I think it's going to be perfect. Sure, I've got all that to the top. Okay, so now my last layer of pasta sheets. And then my last layer of bechamel. Now, this is not from a recipe. I kind of just make a meat sauce with some white sauce and then just follow like the instructions that they have on the back, which is basically 180 for 45 minutes uncovered. So I have done one where they're covered, but then the cheese just never seems to go nice and brown. But so I have got the oven already preheated. I'm not sure if I said that before. Let's make sure this side's nice. So now I'm just going to throw on some mozzarella cheese and just cover it over the top. So there we go, there's my layer of cheese. Now I will put this on a baking tray just in case it bubbles over. But now I'm just going to put it in the oven at 180 for 45 minutes and then take it out. Then I will let it cool, then put a layer of foil over the top and then put it in the freezer. And when I want to reheat it, I would take it out either the night before and let it defrost and then cook it until it's warmed through. Or if I'm cooking it from frozen, then it'd just be for a longer time frame. So it's probably like 180 for, I don't know, you just have to guess it because I haven't done this before. So this is what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to go and put it in the oven. Okay guys, so I'm on to my next meal. So this one is actually from this packet. It's just minced cottage pie. So it's basically just mince with a layer of potato over top and you bake it and it's all yummy. So what I've got, so I've obviously got this packet mix from Maggi. So it says 3 medium potatoes, but because these are so small, I've got like 7 small potatoes. I've got 2 onions, a can of tomatoes. I've just got some Italian diced tomatoes, doesn't really matter what. 500 grams of beef mince. I've got some mozzarella cheese to go on top, and I'll also need some milk for mashing the potatoes. So that's what we got. So I have to peel the potatoes and get them into the water, get them going, and then I'll start with the rest of this. I would probably actually add some bacon in as well, just because everything tastes better with bacon. But yeah, I use that to kind of for taste, but also to help fill it out as well. So let's get into it. Okay guys, so I've got my potatoes that I've chopped up and I've got into the boiling water to make the mashed potato. Now I'm going to do the meat part. So I'm just going to take another pan. I've just kind of wiped it out from the lasagna I was doing. Just going to put in a little splash of olive oil, just using the extra virgin olive oil. Now I'm going to throw in my chopped up onions and bacon. So I have just used like I don't know, a few slices of bacon. Now I'm just going to do the same as we did with the lasagna base and just sweat these off, get the onion softened, and then we'll start adding the meat. Okay, so my camera didn't get that, but I've just added the tomato and the seasoning in here. Just stirred it around. It's just going to boil away. What I want to do now is I'm just going to add in a little bit of frozen peas. So I'm just actually going to just grab that chunk there and just break it up into the mix without getting it everywhere. And that should be enough, so it's not too much, the boys aren't going to go too crazy. I've just turned it down to a simmer, and it just says to just simmer uncovered for 10 minutes. So I'm just going to let that simmer away for 10 minutes, and then I'll be back. Okay guys, so here is the potatoes. I've just, so they're boiled for, I don't know, 20 minutes or so until they're soft, and I've drained them, and now I'm just going to mash them. Okay, so now that I've mashed them, I'm just going to add probably a couple of tablespoons of butter. I've just got like this butter, a couple of spoons, and then also a little bit of milk, not too much because it's going on the top. It's not really, you don't want it too mushy. So I'm just going to mash that all together. Okay, so I like my potatoes really salty, so I'm going to get some, I've got salt flakes here. I'm just going to grab like a pretty decent pinch and put a couple of those in there. Throw some over the shoulder as well. And then just give that one last mix around. Get the salt in there. So I think that's a pretty good consistency, so it's not runny and it kind of keeps its shape so that when you're putting it over the pie it's not going to go all over the place. So now we need to assemble. Okay, so I've got my aluminium tray again. I have sprayed this one. I probably should have done that with the lasagna as well, but yeah, I've sprayed this with just some oil spray. Now I'm just going to dump it all into the tray. I'm just going to spread it out a bit, just to flatten it so it covers the whole base. Oh, it smells so delicious. I haven't had lunch yet, and this is smelling good. So just layer that all on the bottom. Now, okay, so now we want to put the potato over the top. So I kind of just dollop it around, and then you kind of spread it as you go. Okay, so that's all covered with the potato. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of Parmesan cheese. I should have done that with the lasagna, but I'll just throw just a little bit just to give it a different flavour on it. There's just a little bit of Parmesan cheese. And then also I'm just going to put some mozzarella cheese on top. And yeah, just sprinkle it all over the top. There we go. Just like that. And with this one, this is as far as I'm going to take it today. I'm not going to bake it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let this cool down. Then I'm going to cover it with alfoil, and then I'm going to freeze it. And then when I want to eat it, I'll defrost it that night and then put it in the oven and follow the instructions, which so in the oven for 200 degrees for 20 minutes, and that's uncovered. So that is that one. I guess you could also do it from frozen, but you'd want to do it for a lot longer, so I don't know, maybe an hour or something, but you just have to test it and see when it's hot. So that is that one done. That's my shepherd's pie done and dusted. Hi guys, okay, so I'm just going to show you how I'm going to wrap up this shepherd's pie. Okay, so second try. The first roll ran out, so I'm going to try this other cling wrap. So I'm just going to put not having much luck with these plastic. Okay, so I've just put a layer of cling wrap, and now I'm going to put a layer of aluminium foil over the top. Okay, so this is the shepherd's pie. And then I need to defrost. And then it's 200 degrees for 20 minutes. And that's that one done. So I'm just going to leave it to the side a little bit longer. It's still a bit warm. So I'm just going to leave that to the side. And then, actually, no, I'm going to put that in the freezer so it can start freezing. And I'm going to do that with my lasagna as well. Okay guys, I've just had a bit of a break and I'm on to my next dish. So this one I'm not sure about. I'm probably just going to use it as just a meal that we'll just have in the fridge and eat as we need it. So this one is actually the vermicelli sweet corn soup. So I'll just go through what I've got here. So the ingredients are a tablespoon of olive oil, 1 clove of garlic, which I've got here just crushed. It does say ginger, but I don't have ginger. 425 grams of creamed corn. I've got these little ones. They're 125 grams. This is the reason that I wanted to use them, is because I've got all these cans that I got by mistake instead of real corn, so I need to use these little creamed corn cans. So I've got this, 2 eggs lightly beaten. I've just got them in there. It says 2 cobs of fresh corn. I don't have fresh corn, so I've just got a tin of corn kernels. 100 grams of vermicelli noodles. So I've got them there. It says you can also put it with tofu and then also cover it with spring onions at the end. I'm not doing any of that, although I do have spring onions. But yeah, so there are the ingredients. Oh, sorry, and the chicken broth, chicken stock. So let's just get started. Okay, so I've just got a deep pot on the stove. I'm just going to get that going. it on too high. So the first thing is to get some oil in the bottom of the pan. So this one about a tablespoon of oil. And I'm just going to add the garlic. I'm just going to give that a stir as it warms up. And it's really just to saute, just to brown that off and just get it fragrant. So I'll just wait until I can smell the garlic and then I know it's ready. Okay, so I've just turned off the heat for the garlic. So that's nicely sauteed. We don't want it to go too far, we don't want it to burn. So now I'm going to put in my chicken stock, and this is the reason I've taken it off the heat, because I don't want to, it's going to start doing that, so I'm going to take it off the heat very carefully. Add my chicken stock. Okay, so now we've got the bottom in, and we should be right. So just add the whole chicken stock, the 1 litre. That is 1 litre, isn't it? Yes. So add all of the chicken stock. Like that. And now also all of the creamed corn. So I'm just going to add all of these little cans of creamed corn. Okay, so let's give that a bit of a stir. Okay, so now I need to bring it to the boil, so I'm just going to turn it back on, put the heat back on, and bring it to the boil. Okay, so while I'm waiting for my corn mixture to boil on the stove, I'm actually going to prep the vermicelli noodles. So I've got a packet here which is 250 grams. I only need half of that. So I've just taken out the 2 nests, which is about half, and I've boiled some water, and I'm just going to pour the boiled water over the top of them just so that they're covered. I'm just going to leave that for a couple of minutes just to soften up, and then I will drain them and then add them to the corn mixture. It does say to do it as you're to do this part when you're actually going to eat the noodles, but I'm just going to throw it all in so that it's in there, and you can just grab it and have some as you want to eat it, and all you have to do is warm it up. So I'll see how that goes. Okay, so my corn mixture is coming to a boil, so now I need to add my egg. So it says just to put it in and make kind of like a noodle, so I'm guessing it's just to kind of cook this a little bit. So I'm just going to pour it in and stir. So that kind of creates that kind of noodle look. Don't want to get too much in the spoon. So just give it a bit of a stir. So there's like the egg, it's getting a bit mixed through. I'm not sure if you can see it from that angle, but it's kind of creating like an omelette kind of thing. So now we'll add the fresh corn and then let that simmer for a little bit. So now that that's in there, just add the corn. And then I'm just going to turn it down to a simmer. Okay guys, so I've just dumped the noodles in there. It doesn't look that appetizing, but what I'll do is I'll put it in some Tupperware containers and just leave it in the fridge, and as we feel like some soup, we'll just warm it up and eat it. So that's that meal done. Hi guys, so today is day 2. I had to take a break because my feet were so sore and I was so tired. So this is day 2. Okay, so my plan is today is basically banana bread, bacon egg pie, ranch chicken, which I've never tried, and if I haven't eaten enough chicken breast, I might actually also do what's it called? Parmesan chicken, I think it's called. Parmesan chicken, something like that. But we'll see how we go. I don't want to spend too much time today doing it because it is a Friday. I've got other things to do. I've got to wrap presents. So let's just see how we go. If I just get the ranch chicken, banana bread and bacon egg pies done, I will be happy. I don't have too much time because I do have my parents-in-law coming over, so I don't want to be filming while they're here. So let's just get into it. Okay guys, so this is pretty much the ingredients we need for the bacon egg pie. I've got 4 sheets of puff pastries. I'm actually going to make 2 pies. So I've got 4 sheets of puff pastry. I've got 4 onions. They're quite small, so usually I'd only need 1 each. But yeah, they're so small, so I've got 4 small ones. I've got some bacon, some shortcut bacon, so just like this bit. That's all. I don't know how much I'll need, but I'll just wing it. And then I've also got 8 eggs per pie, so it's going to be 16 eggs. So I've got all that there, maybe just a little bit of oil, but that's basically all I need for my bacon egg pie. So let's just go. Okay guys, so first things first, I'm going to take my puff pastry and just separate all the sheets. So there should be 4 sheets in here. I'll just use a knife while it's kind of still frozen and just separate them, and I'll just leave them to the side just to thaw out. So next I'm going to get my scrap in. Next I'm going to slice all of the onions. So I'm going to slice them off camera because I'll probably start crying. But yeah, basically just top and tail them, cut it in half, peel it, and then just slice them. Now, like I said, they're quite small, these onions, so that's why I've got 4 small onions rather than 2 nice big ones. So I'm going to do that, and then I will be right back. Okay guys, so I just chopped up all my onions. I just sliced them up. Now I've got just a small pot on the heat. I'm just going to add just a splash of olive oil. I'm just using this extra virgin one. And I'm just going to soften these onions out. Like, I don't want them to get too much color. I really want them to be sweet. So I don't want to get too much color to them, but just get them in there. And just kind of babysit them, make sure they're not getting too much colour, they're all softening up nicely. So yeah, kind of stir them around in all the oil, and then let them get to a nice, I don't know, what is it, so it's letting all the sugars out, and they get nice and tasty. I like it when they're so nice and sweet. So while that's going, I've just kind of put it down to a fairly medium heat, just so that they can kind of simmer away and just soften slowly and just get nice and sweet. While I'm doing that, let's go and do the rest of the pie. Okay, so with the rest of the pie, I need the bacon to layer, but that's already cut up to the right size. So what we're going to do is the eggs. So I've got a nice big bowl. I'm just going to dump all of the eggs into this container. So I'm just going to break all 16 eggs and put them in here. Okay, so there's all my eggs. I'm just going to whisk them up. So I don't want them too beaten. I just want them lightly just kind of combined. So I'm just going to give them a quick whisk. And this is where I will add some salt and pepper, because I always forget. So I'll add it now while I remember. While I'm doing this also, I've just been popping over to my onions and just giving them a stir, just looking after them a bit. I'm just going to throw in some salt, quite a bit because this is for 2 pies. So salt and pepper. And I will just give that another bit of a whisk. Just to combine that. And that's basically the egg mixture. That's all I'm going to do with the eggs. Now we're pretty much almost ready for assembly. We're just waiting for the onions, so we'll just go and see what they're doing. Okay, so here's the onions. They still need a little bit longer. This one wants to get slightly a little bit of colour. So we'll just let them go a little bit longer and then we can start assembling the pie. Okay guys, so while we're waiting for the onions to soften all the way, what I'm going to do is get my bases ready. So I've got this one is for the one we're going to eat straight away, and this one I'm going to try and freeze the pies in. I haven't frozen them before, so this is going to be a tester. I'm just going to spray them all down with some oil spray. Make sure they're nicely coated. Now I'm just going to grab my sheets and just layer these in the trays. So basically we're going to have a layer on the bottom and a layer on the top, so like a normal pie. So let's take the blue wrap off. So just do that with both the pies. I'm hoping this is going to be enough. But, oh, I just put it in the wrong way. So you want the paper out. So let's do that. And basically it's a bit of a patchwork from here. Yeah, so I've just cut down here. I've just measured the top, and this is about how much I'll need. And then the rest of this is used to patch around the sides. So I'm going to cut this in half. Okay, so I'm just taking this and I'm just going to patch around the sides like this. And whatever I have left over, I'll just cut that off. Can be a bit fiddly. Okay, so about right there. Let's stick that one on there, and then just make sure that it's all patched well. So that's that one, all patched around the sides. Now this one, I've never used this tray before, so let's see what we can do to patch this. Okay, so there's my 2 bases, and I've got 2 bits for the top. So what we're going to do first is put our onion into the base. Let's move these tops out of the way so you can see the bases. Okay, so here's the onions. So as you can see, there's only a slight bit of colour to them, and they're nicely soft. So I've just let them cool for a little bit. And now we're going to add them to in here. Basically you can put whatever you want into these pies. It's pretty much just preference. So I'm just going to put a layer of the onion on the base. Just put that in for both pies. And just make sure it's all spread out. So looking good. Okay, the next layer is going to be our shortcut bacon. So we got some bacon pieces, and you just want to kind of cover over the top of the onion. So I think I might be able to fit 4 pieces on this one, and then do the same for the other side, for the other pie, sorry. Go. So this is where I'm going to use the egg mixture to pour into both the pies, so just evenly spread it out. I just want to kind of cover everything in both pies. Okay, just like that. Now I'm going to do another layer of bacon over the top of that. So same deal, just put it straight over the top of the other ones. You could probably do it in a cross hatch if you really want to, but this is just how I do it. Okay, so now we've got that down, we want to put the top on. So we want to get the right top. So this one is for the small piece. So I just want to bring the sides down first. I think this is, actually I'll put this little piece on first over the top, and then I'll bring these bits down just like that. Hopefully it won't fall, the egg won't come out. Just like that, and now I just want to kind of use the fork just to seal those edges. Like that. Now I'm going to do the same for this other pie, and then I'll be right back. Okay guys, so here's the second one done. Now I have had a lot of egg mixture come out, as you can see, but that's okay, I don't mind it too much. Once it cooks, it's just going to have a lot of egg on top, and like I do put an egg wash usually, so what I'll do is just, usually I just use whatever's left in the bottom there to wash over the top, but like I've got quite a lot of egg here, so I can just use that to brush over the top. For this one, I'll just go like that and just give it a bit of an egg wash just to help it brown. Just like that. So this one's going to turn out a lot nicer than this one, but that's okay. It's just going to have like just egg on top, so it's not going to make it bad or anything. But that is basically it. So now I'm going to cook it at 180, so 180 degrees Celsius for 45 minutes in the oven. And then what I'm going to do is, this one we're going to eat, so it will be kept in the fridge. This one I'm going to cover and put in the freezer, and then when I want to use it, I'll defrost it, and then I can either heat it up or put it in the microwave to heat it up, put it in the oven, however you want to do it to heat it up. My husband would probably just eat it cold. It's quite nice cold as well. I like it warm with some tomato sauce, but whatever your preference. So this one is going to be for later, and this one is going to be for now. I'll show you it when it's finished cooking, but that's it for now. Really easy. So let's put them in the oven, and then we'll go on to the next dish. Okay guys, so here's the next recipe. I'm going to be doing the ranch chicken. So basically it's just chicken dredged in ranch dressing and then crumbed, and then I'll put them into trays and then freeze them so that they're ready for when we want to eat them. We just defrost them and then cook them. So what I've got here, I've got 4 chicken breasts. I'm actually going to cut them into, I don't know, probably 3s or something, just so that they're more like a tender kind of thing. I've also got some breadcrumbs. I think it's just ordinary breadcrumbs. They're store-bought breadcrumbs. I've got a bottle of ranch dressing. I've got some Parmesan cheese. I've got salt and pepper, and I've also got Italian herbs. Now I'm kind of just winging this. I haven't done this before, so I'm just going to basically do it from what I remember off YouTube, from what other ladies have done. So let's just go, just try and do it. Okay, so first what I'm going to do, I'm going to make the, what I'm going to do is put together the bowls for the crumbing, which is the main part. So I am going to put the ranch dressing into, if I can open it, there we go. So we're going to put some of the ranch dressing in here. I'm probably just going to use all of this because I have 4 chicken breasts. So this was 250 ml, so 1 cup of ranch dressing. Just going to put the whole lot in there. So that was just Paul Newman's ranch dressing. You can buy whatever kind of ranch dressing you want. So that's the ranch dressing. In this one, so I'm going to do the crumbs in this one. I'm just going to throw in, I don't know, like a cup of crumbs, maybe a little bit more. And then I'm going to put a decent amount of salt and pepper. Need to season it up. So this is just a normal crumb. I'm going to use Italian herbs, so I've just got this Italian herbs here. Just going to, I don't know, maybe like, I don't know, what's that, like a teaspoon or half a teaspoon? Just throw it in. And then I'm going to put in some Parmesan cheese. So I've just got this Parmesan cheese here. I'm just going to put in, I don't know, a couple of tablespoons or so. Like that. I'm just going to give it a stir. Break up any of the pieces. Make sure it's all incorporated. There you go. So this is going to be my station. So I can put these things away now. Just put them to the side. Now I really hate working with chicken. I'm paranoid about the boys being here with chicken. So I've got my chicken breast here. So what I'll do, I'll cut them and then dunk them as I go, I think. I've got my tray. I'm just going to give it a spray. Just with some olive oil spray. And I'm just going to kind of do a bit of a production line here. So I'll just get this chicken out. Where can I put it? Yeah, I'll just move this stuff out of the way. Okay, so I got fairly decent sized chicken breasts. Okay, and try and keep one hand that doesn't have chicken juices on it. So that's our chicken breast. I just want to kind of cut it into equal pieces, so when it's cooking, it's going to cook evenly. So I've just kind of cut off the tender, what's it called, tenderloin, that bit, and then just cut the breast in half. And then I'm just going to just dunk it in there. I probably should have done this with tongs maybe, but what I'm going to do, I'm just going to dunk it in there. And maybe if I just do them all at once, cut them all at once. So some of these are quite long, but they're still fairly decent, like in the same size. So I'm just going to throw them all in there. so I got the cutting out of the way. Like that. You can cut it smaller if you want, or just keep them as a big breast. It's just your cooking time will vary. Okay, so I've just washed my hands. And now what I'm going to do, try and get this in frame better. So I'm going to take the chicken out of here, dip it into the crumb, and then just lay it on the tray. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need this second tray because I just want them laid out. There we go, just crumbed like that. And I'll just lay him there. I might try and do it two-handed so that it's all dredged in the ranch dressing, and throw it in here and crumb with this hand. Like that. Okay guys, so I finished crumbing all of my chicken. I definitely have 2 trays. This will pretty much do, 1 tray will do for my husband and my 2 boys for each. So that'll be 1 dinner, this will be another dinner. We'll put it with like, I don't know, maybe some mashed potatoes or veggies or something like that. But yeah, so basically now I am going to cover them with plastic wrap, alfoil, and then I'm going to just ride on it. So for these ones, you want to cook them, I've written down 200 degrees Celsius for 30 to 35 minutes. And that would be from a defrosted state. So if you're cooking them from frozen, you probably want to go a little bit longer. But yeah, basically what I'll do is cover them up, freeze them now. Then the night that I want to eat them, I'll defrost them the night before and then cook them for 200 degrees for 30 to 35 minutes, and then check and see how they're going. So that's that meal all done. So I've got 2 meals done. So what I'm going to do now is give it a bit of a clean down since I've been working with chicken again, and then go on to my banana bread. So let's go. Okay guys, so now I'm on to my banana bread. So for this recipe, I've just gotten the recipe from taste.com.au, and it's just for a banana bread. So they asked for some butter or something to grease the tin. So I've just got a normal like bread tin kind of thing. I actually will put baking paper in this and then also grease it as well. So I've got something to grease it, 1 3/4 cups of self-raising flour, a 1/4 cup of plain flour, a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 2/3 cup of brown sugar, need 2 overripe bananas. So I've got 1 here that's overripe, and then I'll use one of these other ones. Need 2 eggs lightly whisked, so I'll get 2 out of there, 1/2 cup of skim milk, and then 50 grams of melted butter. So I'll just take some butter out of there. So it says to preheat oven to 180. It's already preheated because I've got the bacon egg pies in there. But what I think I might do first is mash. I might actually whisk up, like get the electric mixer out and whisk these bananas like pretty much till they're smooth, because my son, he doesn't actually like eating bananas, but he likes banana bread. So I'm going to try and mask them as much as I can. So I'm going to do that first. Okay guys, so I've just put in my flours in here. So I've got 1 3/4 cup of self-raising flour, 1/4 cup of plain flour, and a teaspoon of cinnamon. And I'm just going to sift that all into my dry bowl. So I just got my Tupperware sifter here. I'm just gonna sift. I'm not usually a sifter, so I'm following the ingredients, following the instructions this time. So give this all that flour out. So there we go, there's all our flour. The next step is stir in the sugar and make a well in the center. So how much sugar did we need? We needed 2/3 of a cup. No, they're the ones I used. 1/3, I need 2/3. Here we go, 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar. So what I've been doing, I usually just put the cup in there, so if I spill it, it's not really going to make too much of a mess. So it does say firmly packed, so try and get it fairly decently packed into it. So that's pretty good. So there's 2/3 of a cup. And then just stir that in. Try and get as many lumps and bumps as you can of the brown sugar. I usually just kind of flatten it as I stir it in. I'll get most of the lumps out. Give it a good stir, make sure it's all combined. Now it says just to make a well in the middle. So just go like that. So that's the dry ingredients, so we'll put that to the side. Try and tidy up our space a little bit. So the next thing is the wet ingredients. So here's my bananas I've mashed up. I'm actually thinking I will use a hand mixer just to make it really smooth. There we go. So that's all I needed to do, was just a quick one of that. Now I need to add eggs, milk, and melted butter. So, how many eggs? I think it was 2 eggs. So 2 eggs lightly whisked. Well, I'll just dump the eggs in here and then give it a whisk in the bowl. So there's 1, 2 eggs. Just going to grab a fork and just give them, it says lightly whisked, so just give them a whisk like that. Get half a cup of milk. Half a cup of milk. There. And then 50 grams of melted butter. I might just put it in the microwave just for a little bit. Okay, so I just put that in the microwave for 30 seconds just to melt it. I don't want it super hot because I don't want it to make the eggs go all yuck, so just be careful. Put all that in there. Just give it a bit of a mix. So that's pretty good. It's combined. So now I'm going to grab my flour mixture, which has the well in the middle, and then I'm just going to put the wet ingredients in with the dry in that well. Oh, I can smell the cinnamon. It smells yummy. Now I'm just going to slowly just mix it just from the center, and that'll try and not get too many lumps. So this until just combined, so I think they don't want you to mix it too much, so that it gets a bit tough. So that is pretty good. There's little bits of flour that I can see, but that is good. So there's my mixture. Going to put it into my tin, which I've just put the butter around the edges, and then put the baking paper in there, so it's just hanging over the edge. So I'm going to throw this in here. I'm just going to spread it out and try and make it as flat as you can so it gets into all the sides. Get this bit out as well. Bang it down a bit. Okay, so that is my banana bread mixture done. So I'm just checking how long I'm supposed to do it for. Smooth the surface and then bake in a preheated oven, which was 180, for 45 to 50 minutes or until a skewer comes out clean. It does say once you take it out of the oven just to leave it for 5 minutes in the pan, and then you can tip it out onto a wire rack. So that's my banana bread. I'm hoping that my son likes this because it will be a lot cheaper to make my banana bread rather than buy it. We've been buying it from Woolworths. You get 5 slices for $5. They're all individually wrapped, so it's really convenient, but it is quite expensive. So hopefully he'll like this and he'll prefer this over the Woolies banana bread. So I'm going to set that aside until my bacon egg pies come out, which should be very soon, and then I'm going to put this one in to cook. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to cook this. I think this is the last recipe I have. I'm going to show you the recipes that I have cooked so you can see how I've frozen them and what they look like once they've been cooked. So I'll be back in just a moment to show you my other recipes that all the recipes that I've cooked. Okay guys, so I'm going to kind of do this a bit of a vlog style. So here is my corn / chicken vermicelli soup. So we had some last night for entree before we had our tacos, and it was delicious. The only thing was the vermicelli was hard to eat with a spoon, being a soup. So I'd cut the vermicelli or break them up a little bit for that. Very yummy though. Here is the pulled pork chicken. This is the stuff that we've been using for lunches. I've just been putting it on a bun with coleslaw. I also have in here, so that's the coleslaw. We just use Woolies coleslaw. What I have in my freezer, so I'll just show you in my freezer. I've got the, so these are the packets of the pulled chicken, the barbecue chicken. I've just put them into sandwich bags and frozen them flat. And now that they're frozen, then I can kind of stack them how I like them so that they're not taking up too much room. But yeah, this made 3 packs of the chicken so that I can defrost it as I need it for lunches or when we go camping, an easy meal. I've just put in my ranch chicken. So these are the 2 ones that we did today. Just got them in there freezing. So that's those ones. I have just taken out of the oven the bacon egg pies, so they look awesome. So this is the one that looked pretty good. It has split a little bit here and down the side, but that's okay. My husband will still eat it. So this is the one that we're going to keep and eat pretty much straight away. This is the one that we're probably going to freeze. As you can see, like, it had a lot of egg on top, so it's basically just made it a bit browner. It still looks like a normal bacon egg pie. It's just it's got a little bit of like yolky bits here, but other than that, it still looks perfect. So that's the bacon egg pies. Here is the other lasagna. I just had to find it. It's actually in the other fridge. So there's the lasagna. It's all frozen now. So yeah, I've just written on there the instructions. So once we want to eat it, defrost it, and then it's 180 for 20 minutes or until hot. And the other shepherd's pie was in this freezer. So same thing with this one, defrost it, and then 200 degrees for 20 minutes uncovered. So that is all of the things except for the banana bread, which is actually still in the oven. I've only just put it in, so it's just cooking in there. You probably can't see it, but I'll show you when that one's finished. Okay guys, so here is my banana bread, just come out of the oven. It's nice and golden on top. I've put a knife in just to check and see if there's any dough left on the knife, and it's all clean. So this one is ready and it's really feeling nice, so hopefully this one will turn out perfect. With this banana bread, I'm probably just going to cut it up and my son will probably devour it in the next couple of days. Hopefully, cross fingers, he likes it. But yeah, that's the plan. So this one I'm not going to freeze, I don't think. I'm going to test it out. If he does like it, then maybe I can make some more loaves and freeze them, and maybe put them into slices and then freeze them in like portion sizes. And then the night before school, I'd take it out, let it defrost, and then he can have that in his lunchbox for lunch. So that's what my plan is for this. Hi guys, okay, so I am done. I've done all the meals that I had on my little list. So I've done the ranch chicken, I've got 2 meals of that. I've got the pulled chicken, so we've got so much of that, like there was 2 kilos of chicken breast, so I've got 3 packets in the fridge, and 3 packets in the freezer, and I've also got some in the fridge that we're using now. I did a lasagna, I did a shepherd's pie, I did the banana bread, a big batch of chicken and corn soup, which is going to last for a few more days, and I also did 2 bacon and egg pies. One we're going to use straight away and one we're going to freeze and see how that works. So that is it. I did it over 2 days, mainly because I was just getting tired after that first day. Like, my feet were sore. It's so hot here in Townsville at the moment. It's like getting up to 30 degrees Celsius. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's hot. So having the ovens on and everything, it's just so hot. And even I had the air conditioners on the first day. Today I don't, but I'm only doing a little bit of cooking. But it was so hot, so I had to take it over 2 days. The thing that I found, I have to have a clean workspace when I'm cooking. Otherwise I get very flustered. So what I tend to do is, as I finish one meal or one part of the meal, I'll just do a little quick clean up and put everything that I don't need away, just so that there's not clutter and I don't feel flustered. So that was my key to stay fairly calm. I was doing this with my son, so he was coming in and out every now and then, so I had to entertain him a little bit and get him lunch and stop for lunch, so there were breaks and stuff. So I think the key is staying neat and tidy as much as you can, and also taking breaks. So while, sure, you want to multitask, but also while banana bread's cooking, clean down and then just sit down and have a break, have a drink of water, have something to eat, because all this yummy food definitely makes you hungry. So I'm so sweaty, sorry. Definitely take breaks. So I think that's pretty successful. I've got so many things in the freezer that I can use for later down the track. Also, I've got some ideas of using them for camping. So we're going camping for Christmas, so I thought the pulled chicken, easy enough to have frozen now, then when we go camping, throw it in the fridge, it'll be defrosted by the time we get to the camping spot. We can use it on buns, with coleslaw. There's a quick lunch, don't have to cook anything, just throw it together. Also the lasagna and the shepherd's pie, I thought that would be easy enough just to put over coals, like on a stand maybe, and then just kind of heat it through, because it's already cooked. It just needs to be heated through. So I thought those would probably be some easy meals. Not sure whether we'll take them or not, but we'll see how we go. But other than that, I have found this really productive. I'm really happy that I got all this stuff done. It's my inspiration has come from a few different ladies. I'll link them down below because I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce their names, but J. Marill, I think is her name. J. Marill's Large Family, I think it's called, on YouTube, and also in her apron. There's a couple of ladies, but I'll link them down below. My inspiration. But other than that, thank you for watching. If you like this video, it's a little bit different. I don't usually do cooking videos, but maybe it's something I might start doing if you like it. So if you do, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button just down below. Other than that, I will see you in the comments. Bye.